What's going on, everybody? Kmess here on the Birds vs. Boys YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, welcome. Welcome to the family. If you are back for some more, thank you for the support. We always appreciate it. And if you have not yet, head back to the homepage and smash that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing in terms of content from Birds vs. Boys. And just because the name is BVB, Birds vs. Boys, doesn't mean we just cover and talk about the Eagles and the Cowboys. We cover the entire NFL entirely from draft to Super Bowl and everything in between. So tell your friends, tell your family, this podcast, this show, this content empire we are building is for all football and all NFL fans. You can follow us everywhere we are on social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Birds vs. Boys Pod, and wherever you listen to podcasts, we are there with full episodes. Right here, right now, you got me, Kmess, your host. You can also catch videos and clips from my co-host, Aiden Powers, in terms of the Philadelphia Eagles and other NFL-related information that is breaking, and you can catch full episodes of both of us together right here as well. But right now, I'm here to talk about Tony Pollard and actually the running back franchise, the running back room, the running back position as a whole, because today, Monday, 4:00 p.m. Eastern time, was the deadline for players to either get a long-term deal done, sign their tender for franchise tag. And we saw basically none of the running backs that were franchised reach a long-term deal with their teams. Saquon Barkley for the New York Giants, who has been very outspoken about this, right? He even tweeted after the 4 p.m. deadline, it is what it is. We'll see if he holds out. They were offering him $19 million guaranteed, which I get it. We're not giving big contracts to running backs anymore, especially after the Zeke Elliott deal, after the CMC deal. Those type of deals will never happen again. I don't believe in the running back position in the NFL. So Saquon Barkley says he's going to hold out. He has new representation. He left Rock Nation. We will see what happens there. Josh Jacobs with the Raiders, same kind of thing. He says he will hold out from camp. He is possibly a trade target, so we'll see what happens there with the Raiders and Josh Jacobs. And we've also seen the free agent running backs, right? We saw Dalvin Cook released earlier in this offseason, still has not signed a deal. Ezekiel Elliott still out there, possibly still linked to the Dallas Cowboys because, hey, Jerry Jones likes to stay in the spotlight, right? Haven't closed the door yet on Zeke. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't want it to happen. But, of course, Jerry's not going to close the door on that because, hey, it keeps the headlines coming. But I'm here to talk about Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard and the Dallas Cowboys. They did not reach a long-term deal. Some people are confused of why. But if you pay attention, if you are an avid fan, if you cover the team, you knew that this was the only thing that was going to happen, right? They tagged him $10 million this year, and I believe this is the last year that Tony Pollard plays for the Dallas Cowboys, unless this running back payment debacle continues to drop, and after the season, there just is no other deals out there with big money for Tony Pollard, and he comes back to the Dallas Cowboys on a team-friendly deal. But there was no way that a long-term deal was being signed for Tony Pollard before today. I could say I think other guys like Dak Prescott getting an extension, Trayvon Diggs, Michael Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, all of those happening before training camp were more likely, all of them, than Tony Pollard getting a long-term deal. Could that be recency bias because of the Zeke deal? Possibly, hopefully. Hopefully they learned from their lessons that just because he went to Cabo and he was holding out of training camp didn't mean he wasn't going to play week one, and they had to cave and give him an absolutely ridiculous contract. So hopefully they learned from this, and that's why it led to franchise tagging Tony Pollard and not signing him to a long-term deal. Has Pollard been good for the Cowboys? Absolutely. Have I been one banging the table that he needed to be RB1, getting more touches than Zeke the last 2 years? Absolutely. Check the tape. Been saying it for years. Ride TP, ride 20. And now, ride him even more. And I hate to say run him into the ground because it's not fair to Tony Pollard, right? He has a family. He deserves to get paid. I mean, he did just get $10 million. I mean, it's more money than most people will make in a lifetime. However, coming off the injury, never being the true number one guy, we don't fully know what to expect this year, right? I mean, I expect him to be Tony Pollard. It's not like he tore his ACL or his Achilles. He broke his ankle. He'll be ready for week one. And I think he'll still have his speed. He'll still have his agility. But a 17-week season, pound, as the number one guy, not being able to throw Zeke in there on, goal to go situations or, 3rd and 18 inches. See what I did there? We'll see what that does to Tony Pollard. I think he is going to have another all-pro season. He's coming off his first Pro Bowl. The way Mike McCarthy wants to run this offense, it's going to run through Tony Pollard and hopefully another running back because it is 2023 and the NFL does not have many bell cow backs anymore. It is dual backfields, even sometimes 3-4 running backs. We see what the Philadelphia Eagles do with even running their quarterback, what they did with Miles Sanders, Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott. It can never hurt to have multiple backs. I think the Dallas Cowboys do have multiple backs. Obviously, they drafted Deuce Vaughn. He is, even though small, very capable. He can hit you for a home run almost at any time, just like Tony Pollard. They brought in Ronald Jones as a free agent. We'll see what he brings. And then they also still have Rico Dowdle and Malik Davis. And you can check one of my earlier videos from a couple weeks ago when I talk about who is going to win the RB2 spot behind Tony Pollard. And I discuss all of those names, so make sure you check that out. But Tony Pollard signing a long-term deal was never going to happen. And it is a good thing for the Dallas Cowboys franchise, for the Dallas Cowboys team, and for us as fans, because they are not jumping into that perpetual cycle of paying big name, homegrown guys like Ezekiel Elliott to then just be in cap hell and have to configure the cap and have Cap Boy Stephen Jones come in and not be able to go get other pieces because they're so locked in and paying so much money to a running back position, a position that is being devalued every single year more and more. So I am very happy that the Dallas Cowboys did not strike a long-term deal with Tony Pollard. I love Tony Pollard. I hope he is a Pro Bowl, All-Pro, leads the Dallas Cowboys. Emmitt Smith is my favorite player of all time, my hero, the reason I'm a Cowboys fan. I hope Tony Pollard breaks every record that he has and wins the Super Bowl. Just because that is good for us. That's good for now. That's good for the fan base. That's good for the team. But that doesn't mean he needs to get paid a big amount of money and take away from the money that is needed for Trayvon Diggs, for Micah Parsons, who is going to get his bag, for CeeDee Lamb. We need all these pieces, right? You can draft a running back in the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 7th. We've seen it. Isaiah Pacheco, Kansas City Chiefs, out of Rutgers, 7th round pick, running hard in the Super Bowl, won a ring. It can be done. Yes, I understand. They have Patrick Mahomes. However, you don't need first-round running backs. You don't need to pay running backs big money. That's why I'm also out on the Dalvin Cook thing. I understand it. I think Dalvin Cook and Tony Pollard together would be a hell for defenses that have to deal with. And I mean, I hope it happens if he takes like a veteran minimum deal, not $10 million, because I'm not investing $20 million in one season to the running back room. So I applaud the Dallas Cowboys. I applaud the front office. But we knew this was coming, right? We knew that a long-term deal was not happening for Tony Pollard and the Dallas Cowboys before today's 4 p.m. deadline. So we'll see what happens moving forward. We'll see if they bring anybody else in for camp. I think they're pretty well set at the running back position. Again, with Tony Pollard, Rojo, Deuce Vaughn, Malik Davis, and Rico Dowdle. And check out my video talking about who will be RB2 and RB3 heading into the season. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Comment below if you agree, or if you hope and want and wished that the Dallas Cowboys already did reach a long-term deal with Tony Pollard and want him to be a Dallas Cowboy for a long time moving forward. Again, if you have not, please subscribe to the YouTube channel right here. Smash that button. We are growing every day, and we appreciate all of you for all of your support. And follow us everywhere you are and we are on social media at Birds vs. Boys Pod. And anywhere you listen to full episodes of podcasts, we are there as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so close. We are so close to training camp. We are so close to sweatshirts and shorts. That's why I wore a hoodie today. And football season. We're so close. And we will help get you there.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upset alert. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there.
There's no hope. Hope is gone.
If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope. I'm going to drink bleach. That is
Be the team you promised me you were going to be this year! This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.